Christchurch's St Andrew's College criticised for ad hoc care of student who committed suicide. A coroner has criticised a Christchurch school for its ad hoc care of a suicidal student who then took his own life. St Andrew's College, Street AC, student Michael John Bain killed himself at the age of 18 at his Christchurch home on December 21, 2015. Staff members at the Christchurch school were told on 2 occasions that he had been talking about killing himself months before his death. Michael's mother says she was not told of her son's suicidal thoughts. Coroner Bridget Windley found that college staff did not properly implement their student care system and that its communication with Michael's mother was ultimately ineffective. The school said it was deeply saddened by Michael's death and had since implemented changes recommended by the coroner. My inquiry has identified suboptimal implementation of pastoral care at Street AC prior to Michael's death. It is at least possible, but by no means certain, that Michael's outcome could have been improved had pastoral care been optimized and effective communication achieved, the coroner wrote in findings released on Wednesday. Windley said it was impossible to know with any certainty whether a better student care system could have saved Michael. She also noted that he went on study leave from Street AC on November 4, 2015, nearly 7 weeks before his death. The coroner recommended that Street AC review and revise its pastoral care guidelines so that discussions about students of concern are carefully recorded and shared. The coroner also recommended that all teaching staff should be trained to identify students of concern and how to respond. Michael had known mental health difficulties before he began at Street AC in 2014. In June 2015, the school's then-counsellor John Quinn received a text message from another student at the school saying Michael Bain was having suicidal thoughts. The counsellor told Michael Bain's tutor and teacher Joe Bigford, who then called his mother. Bigford told the coroner's inquest in October 2017 that she told Michael Bain's mother that her son was having suicidal thoughts. But the mother said that at no time did anyone from the school tell me that Michael was expressing suicidal intentions. Both Bigford's and Michael's mother's evidence is consistent that they had telephone contact that night. However, their evidence is starkly conflicting as to the specifics of the discussion that took place during that telephone call, the coroner wrote. In July 2015, another student told Bigford that Michael Bain was saying that he could not go on. Bigford told the inquest she met Michael Bain's mother that day and told her he had voiced suicidal thoughts. But Michael Bain's mother said she was not told in the meeting of any suicide concerns about her son. The coroner concluded that Bigford had not communicated properly with Michael Bain's mother. A one-off miscommunication might well be a reasonable, although tragic, explanation but for the fact that this disconnect was replicated a second time, she wrote. Communication from Ms. Bigford to Michael's mother was therefore ultimately ineffective on both occasions. The coroner wrote that if then the student care system had been properly implemented, these issues could have been quickly addressed. Had there been proper records made to ensure and support appropriate monitoring, review and effective communication, with greater involvement and leadership from the school counsellor, and PCC oversight, ineffective communication between Ms. Bigford and Michael's mother may have been avoided or promptly redressed, the coroner wrote. The optimal implementation of pastoral care at Street AC would have gone some way to protect against the degree of disparity in individual knowledge that is evident in this case. The coroner said there was no clear account or record of Michael Bain's student care. I consider this fact reflects more fundamental failures than poor record-keeping practices, she wrote. To my mind, Michael's pastoral care experience at Street AC was ad hoc, and lacked a cohesive information base. Street AC Board Chair Brian Pearson said in a written statement that the coroner's recommendations had now been implemented. St Andrew's College remains deeply saddened by Michael's death and the impact this has had on his family, friends, teachers and college support staff, he said. The college accepts the coroner's findings and observations that despite our very strong pastoral care culture, there was room for procedural and administrative improvement. The well-being of young people today is increasingly challenging and, more than ever, requires all stakeholders involved in their care to be connected, communicative and aligned in sharing that collective responsibility. St Andrew's College gives pastoral care high priority and takes this responsibility very seriously. The college is fundamentally committed to playing an important role alongside parents in supporting and caring for all students, especially those at risk, and is active in continuously exploring ways to better support their well-being. The name of Michael Bain's mother and the name of the students who raised concerns about him have been suppressed. Where to get help? Lifeline, 0800 543 354, provides 24-hour telephone counseling. Youthline, 0800 376 633 or free text 234, provides 24-hour telephone and text counseling services for young people. Samaritans, 0800 726 666, provides 24-hour telephone counseling. Totoko, 0508828865, provides support, information and resources to people at risk of suicide, and their family, WHO and friends. WhatsApp, 0800 942 8787, noon to 11 p.m. Kids Line, 0800 543 754, 4 p.m., 6 p.m. weekdays. The Lowdown, The Louddown. NZ-website for young people aged 12 to 19. National Depression Initiative - Depression. .org. NZ, for adults, 0800 111 757, 24-hour service. If it is an emergency or you, or someone you know, is at risk, call 111. For information about suicide prevention, see www.mentalhealth.org. NZ, suicide prevention.